5:14 right now, and first alert meteorology this is where the time really kicks in. When we have storms headed our way.
Yeah, we got to track them, right? It's already plowing through the Midwest, impacting roads, canceling flights. In Minneapolis, several inches of snow prompted a ground stop. To try to get flights moving again, hundreds of workers were called in to help clear the runways, and the roads were not any better. The heavy snow had drivers slipping and sliding all over Minnesota highways. Now, before noon yesterday, Minnesota State Police said there were more than 250 crashes.
An Arctic blast impacting Wisconsin, too. Even though it's on its way, several inches fell across the state. Roads are slippery there, too, with local officials just warning about the safety on the roads. You can almost feel that concern in the air. Look at how heavy that is right there.
I mean, when you look at the snow like that, you just want to stay home, right? Everyone's trying to get to work, school. My goodness. And it's the holidays. It's the worst part of the year for travel.
So you say pack your patience, everybody, and also listen to our meteorologist like Tevin Wu. And this is when everybody's just like, hey, Tev, can we hang out? Now, can you tell me about my neighborhood specifically in our weather conditions?
I'm going to do my best. And I just want to put this out there. The easiest way to track this storm and your travel conditions the entire weekend and early next week, download our app. I mean, that thing gets you down to the street level. And it's not just a New England forecast as well. We've got an entire team that works with NBC and NECN that gets you conditions across Chicago, New York, Philly, D.C., all your major metros and your hotspots where the airports are. That's where we are, too. That's the easiest way to stay connected.
Well, you take care of us. All right, so where do we stand right now?
We stand right now where the storm is still out towards the west, but we will be dashing through the snow later on this evening and rain for some of us. And that's crucial to point out in the forecast just because this is not going to be a one-size-fits-all forecast. If you're across Cape Cod, it's going to be much milder or warmer. If you're across central Massachusetts, it's going to be much colder. However, the core of the storm won't be right on top of us across central Mass. Still some flakes, though, flying through the Green Mountains for the morning and the afternoon. So let's sort of work our way region by region. Again, remember, it's not a one-size-fits-all forecast. To the north and west of town, I think it's light snow and little accumulation expected, mainly after 4 o'clock this afternoon. Through central Massachusetts and eastern Mass, we will likely see those higher snowfall rates right along I-95 across the Merrimack Valley. So think places like Topsfield, for example. Starting early this afternoon, tapering off at about 5 or 6 in the evening. Slick roadways for sure, especially after sunset. And I know that's when a lot of folks are hitting the roads. To Cape Cod we go. It's mostly rainfall and then snow later on tonight. We think the rain starts at about 2, and then there's a mix of rain and snow, or rather rain to snow, at about 9 p.m. this evening. Here's a closer look at the snowfall rates in Waltham, and notice how this thing starts to climb up at about 5 o'clock. So we're approaching that moderate snowfall rate just as the roadways are getting packed and folks are getting off of work and dashing through the snow along the highway. In Brookline, closer towards Boston, here right around 6 to 7 this afternoon and evening. It starts much lighter, and I'm not so much worried about this point in the game at 4 o'clock with a 1/10 of an inch of snowfall coming down in an hour. That's manageable, but it's once you start to get those higher snowfall rates that not only do the roads start to accumulate with some of that snow, but also the visibility drops down too. The forecast over the next couple of days in terms of the snow, albeit most of this comes through today, should likely amount to 1 to 3 inches of snow through portions of Middlesex County and Essex County, and we've stretched this back across southeastern Worcester County as well. And then as it changes from rain over into snow across Cape Cod too, we'll likely pick up closer towards an inch. Remember, this is a range of 1 to 3. I don't think we'll touch that 3 for most of us, just on the order of an inch to perhaps 1.5 inches. Notice the temperatures. Remember, this is not about the totals. It's about the timing and the air temperatures. At noon, we're at 37 in Boston, 39 in Brockton. Again, manageable there, but in the early part of the afternoon, now that cold air starts to ooze down a bit more, Boston drops to 35. And by the way, the rain and snow, that cools the atmosphere too, and we'll start to see temperatures fall to about 29 degrees at 7 this evening. So again, watching the storm system come through, we'll go region by region. Remember to download our app. That's the best way to stay connected and ahead of this storm and any storm. And it seems like, by the way, I don't want to call it a white Christmas just yet, but we may have some flakes late Tuesday on Christmas Eve and into Wednesday morning. Otherwise, this is a very tame forecast. I'm not as upset about this forecast at all for those of us traveling. A few bumps along the roadways this evening, but most of us should be smooth sailing tomorrow.
We appreciate your guidance in all of this. Thank you, Tev.